Alright guys, Fula coming to you with another video. Hope y'all are well. It's summer over here. Although it don't feel like summer. I guess the pandemic is the pandemic really affects how things go. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. The whole pandemic just really affected the world. Point blank period. And so, the energy here is just whatever. Not really no summer energy, so to say. But what I want to talk about is Timothy Bradley's comments about, Shakur Stevenson's performance and what have you, saying that it was boring and that he almost fell asleep and this, that, and the other. Here's the thing, man. This is the truth. Boxing is not always going to be knockouts. Boxing is not always going to be, slugfest. Boxing is going to be, if you're a smart fighter, you're going to be a fighter who's going to do what he needs to do at the necessary time. And if he sees the opening to do what the fans want him to do, which is like get a knockout and make people go crazy, right? Then that will happen, okay? Then you'll see it, right? But it's not going to happen all the time, man. It really isn't. So for Timothy Bradley to say that, the fight was boring and everything like that, and mind you, he's saying this to a fighter under his umbrella. He's a commentator / analyst for ESPN. He's saying this about his own fighter, okay? Pitching a shutout is still impressive. The other fighter didn't win a round. I'm going to tell you something, okay, about Namibian fighters especially, because this guy was from Namibia, right? I'm going to tell you something about Namibian fighters. A lot of them. They're heavy-handed, bro. They're heavy-handed. So, although their boxing ability is not good, their punching ability can really do some damage if you get careless or if you decide that you want to just go all in. Those guys hit hard. You can't just be super aggressive. It doesn't work like that with these guys. So Shakur Stevenson was doing what he needed to do. And that's the bottom line. So for Timothy Bradley to do this, it's like, bro, chill out, okay? He did what he needed to do. Now, I will say this, and I will respect him for this, okay? And I completely agree with him in regards to this, is that he said to Ryan Garcia, and he said to Teofimo Lopez, who also talks just as much as Ryan Garcia, come to find out, that shut up and fight, what's his name? Shut up and fight Devin Haney. Stop talking about it, actually do it. I respect that aspect of him actually saying that, That gets my respect. But I really just don't respect him for saying what he said before, though, however, about Shakur Stevenson when he pitched the shutout. And this is the problem with boxing as a whole, bro. Like, you can't do enough for these people. You can't do enough for these critics, bro. Like, so for example, a fighter can have a near flawless performance, right? Showing beautiful boxing skills. showing how to set traps, even getting knockdowns, doing everything that is necessary to win. However, that still may not be good enough for a lot of people. And this includes media too. This includes the media. But I think there's something bigger than that. Because here's the thing. Here's what I believe. And this is my theory. This is really my theory, and I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong about this. But I really truly believe that if Shakur was to finish that guy off easily in like a convincing fashion, if he did that, let's say Shakur finished him off in let's just say like round 5. Let's just say Shakur blows him out the water, round 5. You know what it would be? You know what the narrative will be? Oh, he was supposed to do that. Oh, that guy was overly matched against Shakur Stevenson. Oh, of course it's easy to do that if you fight this lower opposition. You know, and I hate to say this, bro, but I think the same thing would have applied to Devin Haney as well. I think actually that they would have said the same exact thing. They would have been like, oh, well, you know, he should have knocked out Linares. That was expected to knock out Linares. But Linares was old and washed up. So, of course, he's going to knock him out. I honestly think that would have been said about, what's his name? I want to say Devin Haney, if he made easy work of him. I'm thinking that the same thing would have been said. Okay? So I say this to say that there's really no pleasing these boxing analysts. You know? It's just, I don't know, man. It's just sad, but it's true. You know, it's just really sad that you really can't please them. They're gonna, like, I don't know, really, man, what to say. But let's be honest with Timothy Bradley, though. Let's keep it a buck about his style anyway. Timothy Bradley's style is, bruh, like when he fought, no disrespect to him, but he used his head to block shots. So, I mean, I guess I get it. I guess I can understand where he's coming from, but still. But when it comes to him, actually, when it comes to Timothy Bradley, yeah, he took chances, but I mean, a lot of those chances were unnecessary. So for me, I just say, I guess, bro. You know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is. You know, boxing media. Here's the thing. Here's what I believe about a lot of boxing media. Okay? You can be too skillful for your own good. Okay? And being too skillful for your own good, it's a double-edged sword, right? One, for people who actually like boxing and actually like the skill of boxing and the art of boxing, it's a good thing. But for people who don't like boxing and people who are more so nationality loyal, nationalistically loyal, then it presents a problem. That's the whole situation. And so here's another thing. If you have devastating power, then the next complaint will be like, oh, this person isn't skillful enough, right? That's how it usually works most of the time. And so it would be the same thing with having both, having skill and power. They'll just find something else to say, like, oh, well, you know, this person, he bought a car outside the ring or something. They will find something, you know what I mean? That's just how this thing goes, bro. You know, fighters like Rigan Dial, fighters like Erislandy Lara. I'll give you a prime example of that. I'll give you a prime example. I can use Erislandy Lara as an example. I can use him. So we all know Lara is a very skillful boxer. We know Lara is slick. We know Lara puts combinations together. We also know Lara to be a guy who knows how to counterpunch. We also know Lara to be a guy who can fight on the inside. We know that Lara spends his time mostly fighting on the outside, however. So an example of this is that many people say Lara's style is boring. Many people said Lara is like not exciting to watch or anything like that. But when he lands I think he knocked that dude out in the first round. The last dude he fought hit him smooth on the chin in the first round. When he did that, the new complaint became, in essence, one of the reporters asked, how come you knocked him out so quick? Something like that. There was something to that effect. That, oh, you didn't want to get rounds in and things like that. It's like, bruh, you guys were complaining about him being too boring and not finishing the job, but now all of a sudden, when he knocks the dude clean, when he knocks the dude's block off, all of a sudden he needed more rounds. Like, which one is it? Like, make up your mind. You know, so this is just what it is, bro, with these, with this media. You know what I mean? But, I mean, to be honest, this is what I personally think. And I'm going to end it on this note. Honestly, Shakur Stevenson is a big 130, okay? So I really think he should move up to 135, me personally. And I think he should fight Devin Haney. That's honestly, and I think Devin Haney would be willing to fight him. You know, I think that honestly is the most logical move, because I don't think Jamel Herring is looking for that. And I really don't think Oscar Valdez is looking for that either. You know, I definitely think, I definitely know Oscar Valdez ain't looking for that. He hasn't said his name, you know what I mean? And I don't, as I said, Jamel Herring, he's kind of just, you know, Shakur Stevenson has been pressing him a lot. You know, and Jamel Herring hasn't really did anything, because, you know, Jamel Herring knows what time it is, bro. He knows exactly what time it is, my guys. But anyhow, man, this is all I gotta say. And, you know, as a last note, Timothy Bradley, you know, sometimes you say correct things, but other times you just talk out of your behind. This is one of the times where you talked out of your behind. And, you know, just because Shakur Stevenson doesn't go in head first to your liking, doesn't mean that it wasn't an exciting fight. And with that being said, man, that's all I got. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and Fool is signing out. Njara.